Hey y'all, and welcome back. Now today we will be reviewing and reacting to another slapped ham compilation titled "This Scary Footage Has Viewers Stumped." Well, let's see if we can demystify these just a little bit so people won't be as stumped as they normally would be. What y'all think? Y'all ready for it? Let's get started.
Reddit user OYeeZer recently shared a creepy photo taken at night inside an abandoned gold dredge. According to the original post, the user didn't notice anything unusual while exploring, but upon reviewing their photos, spotted something deeply disturbing. In the image, taken late at night, you can clearly see a hauntingly distinct face peering out from the shadows on the left-hand side. The user admits it might just be pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon where the human mind perceives familiar patterns like faces where none actually exist. Still, they couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that something genuinely eerie might have been lurking nearby. Commenters on Reddit were quick to chime in, many of them deeply disturbed when they finally spotted the chilling face hidden in the shadows. While some dismissed the image as a trick of the mind, others weren't so sure, suggesting this could be genuine evidence of something paranormal.
Now, I feel like this one was a bit of a stretch, to be honest with y'all, because just simply I did not personally see what on earth they were talking about when I first saw this photo until they zoomed in. And I just feel like it's a bit of a stretch. Sure, this is a classic case of pareidolia, but just to actually bring this up and have such a tiny, like little, I would have never noticed it, honestly. Did y'all see it to begin with? I just saw two little glints in there, and I'm thinking, probably possible minerals within the composition of the rock wall, had just enough little shimmer to it to be able to catch the light of the photo, because to have such a clear picture in night, even though it is kind of dark and everything, they had some sort of light source to be able to kind of illuminate the area, to be able to take the picture. So, I saw the glint on the side. I didn't pay no attention until they zoomed in. And yeah, you could see it looks kind of like a face and everything. But this right here, nothing more than a classic case of pareidolia. Because honestly, I never saw the face. I just saw the little glint, thinking, oh, it's picking up on a mineral or something. And then when they zoomed in, I saw it. A bit of a stretch for me. What y'all think? Leave it in the comments below and we'll move on.
Melbourne-based artist and Instagram user Palmy Dillon recently gave his followers a fright when he shared some unsettling footage captured during a late-night drive through remote Australia. Travelling alone down a gravelly, isolated road in the middle of the night, Palmy suddenly stops his car, noticing something strange up ahead. Clearly visible, illuminated by the headlights, is a mysterious figure standing silently in the middle of the deserted road.
You're a go, mate.
Even stranger, several sharp-eyed viewers pointed out something deeply unsettling upon closer inspection. The mysterious figure appears to have no head.
Seen way too many movies for this. You're a go, mate.
Why was this headless-looking figure standing silently on a remote Australian road late at night? Could it have been a prank, a lost traveller, or perhaps something more sinister? As always, I'll leave it to you to decide. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
Seen way too many horror movies for this. You're a psycho, mate.
Now y'all can add this to another reason why I don't like lonely rural roads at times, even though I did spend most of my life growing up on one. Just the randomness of coming up on somebody. It's creepy. It's eerie, especially in the middle of the night, and it's just dark as all get out in there. And to just happen to have your lights fall upon somebody, especially because you could tell this person is dressed all in black. It's real dark clothing, and just like you come up on that's out of nowhere. That's just also, it's a little kind of creepy in the sense that what was this person doing out in the middle of the night in dark clothing? Are they trying to trap somebody into picking them up? And yeah, I just no, I couldn't do this. I would have probably put the pedal to the metal a little bit more. I wouldn't even probably had rolled down the window. If my window was rolled down and I first saw him there, it would have gone right up. It's just the type of person I am. I don't really seeing something like that. If you actually just have your window open and keep it open, and you see somebody like that sitting on the side of the road, I don't know. I try to think like, were you even thinking properly? Because you never know. They could throw, especially with kind of how slow he was going, because obviously you're going to be slower when you see somebody coming up on the side of the road and everything. You want to make sure that you don't kick up dust or a rock or something and hit them, because it looks like it's a dirt road to me. And just that can lead to a whole mess of trouble. You I have no words for it. I mean, especially with the way he was talking to the person. I mean, yeah, you're kind of a little scared, so the first thing you're going to go is act kind of like with aggression a bit, because let's be honest, you come up on something like that, it's going to scare the shit out of you, right? I mean, so of course you're going to come out with like some aggression and everything with it, but I just hope this person was safe and they made it safe to wherever they were going on this road and everything, because honestly, having the window down, because that's what it seemed like, because he kind of yelled out at the person. But then again, I kind of, you get a little slight road rage, you start screaming and yelling at the next person who cut you off, and you got your windows rolled up and they can't hear you, but still, it's a little, hopefully he erred on the side of caution and he was just screaming through closed windows. I mean, that's what I would do anyway, because that would have scared the crap out of me. But I would also kind of floored it a little bit more, because I don't know if this person would have tried to snatch at my doorknobs or not, Well, sorry, before I go on to a whole rant on how wrong this whole situation was. Hopefully it was a hoax. Hopefully it was a hoax. But, with his language and how he was acting, it didn't seem like it was a hoax. So I hope he was safe, and I hope nothing happened to him. So, you know what? Let's move on to the next.
In October 2021, Candice Gardner captured some truly disturbing home security footage that's leaving viewers deeply unsettled. According to Gardner, ever since her family attended a Halloween party at an abandoned prison, they've experienced bizarre and terrifying occurrences at home, so much so that they've been forced to leave their house altogether. In this particularly chilling clip captured on a Wise home security camera, Gardner is seen sleeping peacefully on her couch. But watch what happens. Without warning, her leg suddenly lifts and is violently pulled up and over her head by what she insists is an unseen evil force. The footage is genuinely startling as Gardner wakes up in a panic. While skeptics argue the footage could be staged, Gardner remains adamant that her family has been tormented by an aggressive paranormal entity since that fateful Halloween visit to the old prison.
This one is pretty unsettling. I mean, come on, somebody's leg being lifted up while they're sleeping and everything. But also, this could be scientifically explained, let me put it in these terms. I mean, have any of y'all ever woken up with a Charlie horse? Like it literally woke you up out of the bed, and you have to clutch whatever part of your body that the Charlie horse happened in. I mean, I've had it a couple of times to the point where I almost was like screaming in pain because I had a Charlie horse in my calf. There could have been a possibility of the muscles starting to, kind of edge up a little bit and created like a massive leg cramp for her. And she could have been, during that time, her dreams, with the REM cycle and everything, she could have thought that somebody was grabbing her leg during that time where she started feeling that onset of the Charlie horse and everything. And it can cause, you to do stuff like that. I mean, I've had one in my foot one time, and you know how your foot doesn't really like clench like your fist will, I had where it kind of bowed a little bit, and that was painful. That was one of the most excruciating pains I've ever had as a Charlie horse and everything like that. And it kind of curled up my foot, and I couldn't really move it. So I'm wondering if maybe something like that happened. I wouldn't, because I mean, they did talk about her having, them having activity within the home before, but, without having other examples of this paranormal activity that they've been having in the house and everything, I can only go off of this one video and say that there's always a possibility of a scientific explanation, a logical scientific explanation of like a cramp that caused the whole leg to go up. And she had a dream during that time that somebody was grabbing her, because she did get it off me, get it off me, get it off me, she started stating that to her husband and her boyfriend. I can't remember exactly, but it's very logical that it could have been a Charlie horse. Like I say, I don't really know, and I can't determine just off this one video what exactly is going on with them. If they had more videos out that shows something that was maybe something falling, like a glass sitting in the middle of the table and everything, and you got like a coffee table and you can see underneath it, above it, and you see it moving slightly and ain't nobody around, then maybe I could see something like that. But then I can also wonder where they're at for seismic activity and all that. So there's a lot of things that I would have to personally see before I could say that this was paranormal, or oh no honey, you just had a very bad leg cramp that actually caused your whole leg to spasm up like that. So, I mean, what do y'all think? Honestly, do y'all think it would be a leg cramp? I mean, it happens. If y'all have had Charlie horses, in your leg, like especially like up in your thigh or maybe even your calf and everything, and it kind of balls you up into it, this could be what we're seeing here, because she's laying on her stomach and everything, and so her body kind of pushed it upwards and everything. So let me know in the comments below what y'all think. Is this poltergeist activity, or do y'all think more towards maybe possibly like a major leg cramp and a dream got twisted with the leg cramp? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll move on.
Actress Fran Drescher, best known as the iconic star of the sitcom The Nanny, has revealed some extraordinary claims that have left her fans bewildered. According to Drescher, in her younger years, she and her ex-husband, Peter Mark Jacobson, producer and writer for Happily Divorced, experienced alien abductions separately, long before they even met. In a striking coincidence, both Drescher and Jacobson recall seeing UFOs while driving down the road with their fathers, years before ever crossing paths. Even stranger, both claim to share identical scars on their hands, marks that Drescher firmly believes are the result of alien implants. While Jacobson remains skeptical, suggesting mundane explanations such as a drill bit or a hot beverage, Drescher insists that's precisely what the aliens programmed them to think. Could these matching scars and uncanny encounters really point to genuine alien intervention, or is it simply an eerie coincidence? Or are they just trying to drum up some publicity? Let me know your take on this one in the comments below.
Now, I'm not going to say anything in regards to them seeing UFOs because not my place to judge on that. Just simple fact that I've seen some strange things up in the sky. I've actually mentioned a story in my Rural Road story time about something that I had seen in the past. And, I'm not going to sit there and debate on this one whether or not they both had seen UFOs. What I really want to sit there and try to bring up more than anything on this one is the mentioning of the fact that, in the video, Callan, who was part of Slapped Ham, mentions that they were possibly drumming up publicity. I'm sorry, but Fran Drescher hasn't really been out in the public eye for good bit of time. I would say maybe at least 20 some odd years or so. Not the fact to diminish what she's done outside of, say, the silver screen or the TV shows or anything like that, I just say I don't think this was for publicity. I think she's very comfortable with what she's doing. I just think that maybe this is her thoughts, this is her truths, and I don't feel this is anything with publicity. If it was, you would see something pretty recent that she was trying to come out with, like a new movie or trying to direct something, But I haven't heard anything about it. I actually enjoyed watching The Nanny when it was on television and everything, and I thought it was really funny. It's just, if this was publicity stunt, you'd see a little bit more of her name up in, being thrown about a bit more, in my personal opinion. I just feel like this is something that she wanted to state as her truth, and thought it was pretty interesting that both her and her ex-husband had both had similar experiences and was probably just more unlikely talking about it. But, this is, like I say, I can't sit here and say anything in regards to their experience was not true or anything like that. I'm not going to go into that because there's no video here that we're really going it with. It's just more talking about life experiences that she had. So I can't really say much on it, but I do feel that the whole thing about it being done for publicity is not really the case of it. I mean, what do y'all think? Leave it in the comments below and we'll move on.
This next strange piece of footage was sent in by one of our viewers, Ahmed Shah, and it's quickly gaining attention online. Captured somewhere in the Middle East around mid-June 2025, multiple witnesses were stunned when they spotted a mysterious object falling rapidly from the clear sky. Quickly grabbing their phones, they managed to capture this bizarre event as the unidentified shape hurtled downward, hitting the ground below. What makes this sighting particularly strange is that eyewitnesses confirmed there were no planes or aircraft nearby, leaving the object's origin completely unexplained. Initial speculation suggested it might have been an animal inexplicably falling from the sky, but no evidence has surfaced to confirm this theory. Since surfacing online, the footage has sparked widespread speculation, with some viewers even theorizing it could be evidence of an alien abduction, possibly an animal or object being returned to Earth. As of now, the mysterious footage remains entirely unexplained, leaving everyone wondering just what exactly fell from the sky that day.
I just got one simple question for y'all after watching this video clip. Why on Earth, if we're seeing stuff fall like that, especially when it kind of looked like it had some slight flexibility to it, because it didn't seem, like metallic or anything. It looked kind of pliable, moldable, more, I could say more organic as opposed to synthetic, meaning It's not a piece of metal, like it wasn't a piece of corrugate going flying down from something that, had exploded or had gotten pushed by the wind or anything. It had kind of a malleable sense to it. So I feel more organic as opposed to like manufactured, right? Why on earth do we cut from it falling in the sky to down on the ground? If this was a true event, because I'm kind of feeling AI with this one. Y'all correct me if I'm saying what y'all disagree with now, because honestly, I personally feel that this is an AI generated video, because it's just some things were just a little off. But anyway, if this wasn't an AI video like I feel it is, why stop there? Why stop the video there? Why don't we see somebody moving up closer? Like, oh my God, what is this? Let me run and see what this is, because it was a little weird, Because, I'll be honest with y'all. There are things that happen that you don't see a lot in the news. Like, for example, there's people who hide up in, where the wheels go on the airplanes and everything, trying to like kind of stow away on an airplane. And when of course, people who do that end up having an unfortunate end because of how cold it gets where the wheels are, right? And you can have ice and everything because it gets very, 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 very cold there. And, when the wheels come out of their housing, these bodies happen to end up dropping to the ground. There's no other place for them, right? So, that could have been a case in point, but it's just, you don't see a plane or anything like that. And that's pretty large for a human, in my personal opinion. That looks more kind of oxen, cow. If y'all been around them, you know what I mean, right? And it's just, why on earth do we stop right here? That's why these type of videos that I see with this type of stuff, I feel are AI generated, or somebody's done some nice clever editing with it, because we don't see what had failed. Because if I saw something like that, first thing I'm going to be doing is kind of running towards it to figure out what the hell am I seeing, or at least zooming in a little bit more, with my phone. I'll be walking there, you'd see it probably kind of jerking about a little bit because I'm walking, so the camera on my phone ain't going to be sitting there collecting a nice clear image. It's going to kind of jerk around a little bit, like shaky cam and one of those found footage movies. Basically, that's what would have happened. And it's just unreal to me that when stuff like this happens, there's no exploration. There's no, what on earth did I see? Let me go and take another look. Now, there are some incidences that could happen in which you wouldn't want to do that. It'd be like, oh, nope, I'm out, and then left. That's one thing. But this right here, I would have wanted to see more about it if this really did happen in front of me, let me know what y'all think. Am I wrong that this is an AI video? And honestly, what would y'all do if y'all saw something like this? Let me know in the comments below and we'll move on.
What is it? It's going for a long time.
Recently, a Canadian couple captured something truly extraordinary on camera, leaving both scientists and viewers utterly perplexed.
What is it? It's going for a long time. It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
During a lightning storm near their home in Alberta, Ed and Melinda Party witnessed a lightning bolt strike the ground less than a kilometre away. But what happened next was even more astonishing. A glowing, brilliant blue ball of light appeared, hovering eerily above the ground.
What is it? It's going for a long time. It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
In the 23-second clip captured by the couple, the mysterious orb can clearly be seen shimmering above the landscape. Melinda even notes in the background how strangely coloured and unusual it is compared to typical lightning phenomena. The Party couple estimates the glowing sphere was around 1 to 2 metres in diameter, hovering silently above the ground for about a minute before disappearing with a distinct popping sound. Many online commenters believe the footage shows rare evidence of ball lightning. Veteran storm chaser George Karouni's even called the footage one of the best examples he's ever encountered. However, skeptics argue it might simply be a flash from an electrical transformer or power line, though the parties insist there are no power lines nearby. Despite expert interest, no definitive explanation for this eerie event has yet emerged.
Honestly, that's probably one of the best pictures of ball lightning I've seen in a long, long time. You know, because it's a very, very rare occurrence. And to be able to get this type of video quality of one is a real special event, you know, because it's actually beautiful and hypnotic, but also terrifying at the same time. And for the skeptics that sat there and mentioned the, you know, like a explosion in the pylons, like the transformers and the lines and everything, I'm looking clear across that field and I ain't seen a transformer inside. Now, did any of y'all see it? I mean, true question. Did any of y'all see it? Because honestly, I didn't see it. I see just a beautiful, you know, just a beautiful video of nature at its wildest, you know, because it's such a rare occurrence to see ball lightning. And it's just, I know I'm going on and on about it being rare and everything, but it's just very rare. And it's like hauntingly beautiful, in my opinion, because when you don't see, you know, in nature, we know of this. We've, you know, theorized it in science and everything, but to just see a video of it just sitting there, that's just, in my opinion, is beautiful, but also kind of scary at the same time. So, you know, those skeptics are saying about the transformer explosion, I really don't see anything unless it was a lightning strike on it, but I'm not seeing any transformers around that would have caused something with that power and magnitude. But you know, ball lightning, very much possibility, especially since they said that there was thunderstorms within the time frame, and just the fact of how it's just sitting there. I mean, I've never seen it sit there. I've seen them travel. I've seen them actually, little smaller versions of them go through and transfer to, like, from one light pole to the next, running along the electrical wires and everything. That was a little strange and scary. But this right here, you know, at a distance, it's actually really beautiful. I mean, what do y'all think? Huh? Let me know.
A curious video shared by Reddit user Hobo808 is currently trending, and it has viewers scratching their heads in disbelief. The footage begins simply enough, a man tinkering with what looks like a rudimentary homemade fan composed of basic bands and cogs. However, as the clip plays out, something astonishing occurs. The fan starts spinning, getting faster and faster despite there being no visible power source. If authentic, this would mean this person has managed to build a genuine perpetual motion machine, a legendary invention that's baffled scientists and inventors for centuries. Historically, perpetual motion devices have fascinated humankind, promising machines capable of running indefinitely without external energy. Such machines have been theorized and attempted as far back as the Middle Ages, with famed inventors such as Leonardo da Vinci sketching their own impossible designs. Modern science, however, states clearly that perpetual motion violates fundamental laws of physics, particularly the law of conservation of energy. On Reddit, the footage has sparked considerable debate. One user humorously remarked, "The hardest part of building a perpetual motion machine is figuring out where to hide the batteries." Other skeptical commenters suggested a hidden fan placed just off camera might be causing the movement. So, has this person genuinely cracked the code to perpetual motion, or is it merely a clever hoax? As always, I'll leave it up to you to decide. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
there's some things that some people didn't point out in this video that I want to point out. I mean, why didn't anybody, unless it's in the comment sections of other things when this video was first came out, there's just, a lot of things going on that was never answered, and I want to bring it up. Like, for example, y'all saw in the beginning of the video, he was turning that bent nail with the rubber bands on it, and it ends up being in the opposite direction in which he, kind of hit his hands on the fan blade to get it going. So, another thing too is, how long is this video? Is it just what we see right here, or did it go on longer? Because he could have timed it just right before doing the video, winding it up, then see how long it would last when he hits the fan blade. It's something as simplistic as what he created there isn't ever going to be, a perpetual motion machine. Just simple fact of, it would go through and just defies any laws of thermodynamics, right? Energy wasted. It's just, I'm at a loss for words of how, possibility of some people actually thinking this could be a perpetual motion machine when you've had people in history like Da Vinci and hundreds of others who tried to create this and failed. Yet we have something simple made out of scrap parts that he found somewhere. I'm not saying anything about intellect or anything like that. It's just some of these designs that they created in the past are so elaborate, and just, that was the wheel with, I can't remember the guy's name who created it, but there was a wheel where he used tubes that had mercury in it, and it would pass along the tubes in movement. But, a friction always stops it because, energy produces heat. It produces friction. So therefore it was always stopped. This, he wound it up and then hit it. And if this was like a couple of minute clip, then you know what? Hey, he created something for a couple of minutes that worked and then stopped, because this, just the designs I've seen with perpetual motion are totally different. Because I actually went and, after looking at this video, doing my own research on it, and yeah, some of the designs I seen for this theory more elaborate than a simple bit of rubber bands, a crooked nail, and fan blades, But, we'll leave it at that right here on this, because honestly, it's cute. It comes up with a good idea, and hey, if it can run for maybe at the most 5 minutes, it'll cool you off for 5 minutes, and then you just crank it right back up. It's kind of similar to how you have to crank up and wind up some of those emergency flashlights. It's a good concept, but for the long haul, you want something that's more battery operated, or something you can plug in to the wall. That's just my personal opinion. Let's move on to the next.
In May 1979, David Booth, an ordinary citizen with no known psychic background, experienced something chillingly extraordinary, premonitions so vivid, so intense, they drove him to contact aviation authorities. For 10 consecutive nights, Booth was haunted by the exact same terrifying vision. Each vision began identically: a bright sunny day at a major airport, a large American Airlines jet taxiing along a runway. Booth described the plane gathering speed, engines roaring strangely, clearly malfunctioning. The aircraft would suddenly surge upwards before plunging violently to the ground, erupting into a catastrophic explosion. Booth spoke vividly of the wave of despair hitting him each time he saw this horrific scene unfold, an emotional impact he described as physically crushing. Disturbed and desperate to help, Booth reached out directly to Jack Barker, Public Affairs Director for the Federal Aviation Administration. Barker noted that Booth sounded completely sane and credible, yet sadly, the lack of specific details such as a location or flight numbers prevented the FAA from acting on Booth's eerie warnings. Night after night, the visions grew increasingly intense. leaving Booth tormented, unsure if his desperate warnings were being taken seriously. Then tragically, on May 25, 1979, Booth's visions came chillingly true. American Airlines Flight 191, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, departed Chicago's O'Hare International Airport bound for Los Angeles. Just seconds into its takeoff roll, the aircraft's left engine catastrophically broke away from its wing. Hydraulic lines were severed, vital wing components were damaged, and the plane rapidly became uncontrollable, rolling violently to the left. Just 31 seconds after the engine separated, Flight 191 crashed into an open field near a trailer park, erupting into a massive fireball. Tragically, all 271 souls aboard, along with 2 people on the ground, perished instantly, making it the deadliest aviation disaster in US history. Investigators later found that improper maintenance practices by American Airlines, specifically shortcutting recommended procedures when handling the engine and pylon, caused fatal structural damage. Despite the clarity of this technical explanation, David Booth's ominous premonitions remain deeply unsettling. FAA official Jack Barker later reflected on Booth's visions, calling the accuracy of his description eerie, leaving him baffled at the chilling prediction. Even today, Booth himself remains haunted by his experience, endlessly wondering if more could have been done to prevent the tragedy he so clearly foresaw. Could Booth's visions have truly predicted America's deadliest aviation accident, or was it all just an incredibly strange and tragic coincidence? As always, I'll leave it up to you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
And with this last clip, we are at the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And, if y'all have any comments to say about any of the things I said, just leave it in the comments below. And let's move on to this last video clip. Now, I've actually heard about this one, and I couldn't for the life of me think for days on end, having the same recurring nightmare. I've had kind of recurring dreams where it was kind of like the same realm, right? But things happen differently. But to have the same nightmare of a plane crashing and you can't do anything about it, that's pretty devastating. And I can only imagine what sort of thought processes he had going on in his mind. I'm pretty sure it really kind of messed him up kind of psychologically after having that. And then trying to contact somebody and, because there's not a lot of information on it, they're like, oh, well, there's nothing I can really do because you don't have any other descriptions. Because, I'm surprised this person actually kind of took the time to listen to this man. Let's be honest. Some random person calls you and they tell you, oh, I had a dream about this happening for a couple of weeks now. I've had the same dream happening over and over again. Would you really take it into consideration? I'm being 100% honest with you. Would you take it into consideration? Honestly, honest question. Because personally, I would feel like, okay, that's a little strange, but why are you telling me this? That's, that would kind of feel a little weird. And honestly, if I was part of the FAA, like the gentleman he called, I would be a little kind of, I don't know, I'd feel like a little like my antennas raising, you know what I mean? That something's going on and this person is a part of it. I'd be looking out and kind of like a little bit more eagle-eyed on everything. Because it was such a random phone call to receive, especially if you're in an office such as that. That's just strange. That'd be like telling them, oh yeah, I had this dream, telling a police officer that you had this dream that for several weeks that that somebody was gonna get hurt, like somebody. A celebrity or something, I don't know, they're going to get hurt. And honestly, you as a person in authority wouldn't you feel like, okay, what are you hiding? Why are you telling me this? It would send kind of like a little signal to my brain that they're in on something, you know? I mean, that's just me, and I don't know what y'all think. Would y'all really just take it with a grain of salt, or would you kind of more so investigate on this person a little bit, especially since they're telling you these kind of strange and bit horrific events, you know? That's just my personal opinion. I would kind of got a little red flags waving with those, you know. That's just me. But I mean, what do y'all think? Leave it in the comments below. Would you honestly took him seriously, or would you have just kind of passed it off as nothing more than like a crazy person, or would you kind of suspect him on something? Let me know in the comments below. And like I say, I hope y'all really enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, hit a like. If you don't like it, then you know what, that's fine with me too. I'm just glad y'all spent some time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care.